This book begins with Marianne daydreaming about walking into school with a new hairstyle. She is so hot, everyone stops to stare at her. She's sexy and she knows it.
Argo Font Book Review. Argo Font Book Review.
The girls have loads of fun at a club meeting until there's a job for baby Lucy Newton. Christy takes it without offering the job to the others first. Everyone gets into a huge fight over this. Christy complains Claudia steals jobs all the time. Stacy complains she doesn't have to put up with this because she's from New York. The others complain Stacy never shuts up about New York, which is hilariously true. Marianne hides on the bed until Christy calls her a crybaby. Marianne explodes and yells at everyone, then she runs home crying because she's a crybaby. Marianne soon regrets her actions. She tries to apologize to Christy a few times, but Christy slams the door in her face. Some best friend. Marianne makes up with Claudia pretty easily, because neither of them are mad at each other. As for Stacy, the book mostly ignores her. I don't know why Marianne never tries talking to Stacy. I thought she and Stacy were on pretty good terms. I guess she's holding a huge grudge because Stacy called her a shy little baby. Since Marianne has no friends anymore, she's forced to eat lunch by herself. She meets a new girl in school named Dawn Schaefer. Dawn is a very nice person. I don't want to say it's a rebound relationship, because Dawn really does make for a good best friend. They bond over their parent drama, as Dawn's parents are divorced and Marianne's mother is dead. Then they watch The Parent Trap together. At the next club meeting, things are tense. The girls say as little as possible to each other, and that erupts into giant arguments. Christy doesn't even bother to show up to the meeting. They switch to having one-person meetings so none of them have to talk to each other. Christy brags she can stay up until 10 o'clock, unlike Marianne the baby. Marianne tries to get her dad to extend her curfew. She makes the mistake of asking him when he's in the middle of an angry rant. That is terrible timing to ask someone for a favor. Marianne talks to Claudia's grandma, Mimi, who helps reassure her that she's not an immature baby. Mimi calls her My Marianne, which makes Claudia so furious, she refuses to talk to Marianne ever again. She even attempts to sabotage Marianne during a club meeting by playing loud music when Marianne's on the phone. Claudia, you can't make fun of Marianne for being immature, then turn around and play the la 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 I can't hear you game. It doesn't work. The Pike family asks for 2 babysitters for their 8 kids. For a moment, it looks like Marianne and Christy will be forced to work together. But Christy still refuses to talk to her. All goes well, as the Pikes mistake their argument for a fun game. I bet the Pike parents wish that their kids always thought not talking was a fun game. The Pikes drop Marianne off at home at 9:05. Dad's unhappy she was 5 minutes past curfew. And Christy teases Marianne for being a baby. Dawn and Marianne wonder if their parents knew each other when they were younger. It turns out they were high school sweethearts who went to prom together. They only broke up when Sharon moved to California. The girls reintroduce their parents, and it's an instant love connection. As in, they plan a date for the very next day. Who knew Mr. Spear was so romantic? Marianne babysits bratty Jenny Prezioso, who passes out. Marianne is shocked to discover Jenny has a temperature of 104. Marianne calls Dawn for help. They can't get in contact with any adults, so they call 911. Jenny is rushed to the hospital. Jenny's life is saved. All the adults are impressed with Marianne, especially Dad. He agrees to extend her curfew, and he lets her wear her hair in something other than braids. Hooray! Now she's not an immature baby! Or not, she's kind of immature because the next thing she does is stick her tongue out at Christy. Dawn gets mad when she learns who Christy is, but she quickly gets over it when Marianne writes her an apology note. Christy, though, she ignores Marianne's apology note. Rude. Jamie has a birthday party. The BSC members are too busy being mean to each other to pay attention to the kids. Christy steps on Marianne's foot, Claudia smashes a dirty napkin in Stacy's face, and Marianne pours juice on Christy. It's kind of funny, but they almost ruin the party. It's a good thing all the kids are 4 years old and won't remember this. Marianne puts her foot down and demands they either end the fight or dismantle the Babysitters Club. The BSC is the most important thing in the world, so of course the girls decide to end the fight. As it turns out, none of them can remember why they started fighting in the first place. Oh, and Christy didn't ignore Marianne's apology note. She didn't get it due to an accident beyond her control. They finish with an awesome pizza party where Dawn officially becomes the 5th member of the Babysitters Club. The end. Post-book follow-up. Dawn is the only character in the series with eyebrows that aren't a single line. Her big eyebrows kind of creep me out. I like her freckles. In the last chapter of the book, Stacy wears her hair up. I suspect she changed her whole look just to make herself look different from Dawn. After all, they're both tall blondes with long hair. It's a little hard to tell them apart on certain book covers. That's more of a problem in graphic novel format. Stacy will officially get a haircut in the next book, so no one will confuse her with Dawn. My favorite storyline in this book was the fight between Marianne and Christy. The facial expressions and body language were fantastic. The artist is great at conveying emotion, and it works because this is an emotional book. I like the Dawn subplot, and the babysitting stuff was tolerable. Truth be told, I'm a little bored by the babysitting adventures in this series, which is sad because there's basically going to be a lot of babysitting in future books. I remember liking the story with Marianne's dad better in the original book. I didn't feel it was as good here in the graphic novel. The book did a better job of conveying Marianne's fears and concerns that she's a baby, and her struggles against her overbearing father. Although I have to say I did like the one panel with the giant baby caption pointing to Marianne. That was cute. Overall, it's a good adaptation of a good book, which is sure to delight fans of the last 2 graphic novels. I give Babysitters Club graphic novel number 3, Marianne Saves the Day, an 8 out of 10.